This is for the faithful atheists, insomniac gospel weavers too long and too heavily depressed, with frozen arms unable to carry the change, who know the times to cry, to bleed, to sleep, to scream at the sky until they cannot breathe, but have forgotten that there are times to kneel before whatever is most sacred. The cast light of shattered colour on an altar, a bed too fond of being slept in, the rising chest of a nearly forgotten lover, the shower, turned up higher and higher until the burning is almost audible. When you find yourself alone every day, even when surrounded by friends, when you can tell too many stories about 3 a.m, spend too much time thinking about notes and ledges and whether falling isn't just flying without intent to really take off. What scares you the most, down to the beating coil in your chest, is the truth that you might actually be worth everything that they say you are. So flying would be too much like succeeding, and you can't let yourself do that, not yet. There's too much rainwater in your throat for you to speak with self-clarity. So before you unscrew that last light bulb in your ceiling, before you try and catch the dust between the stars, before hitting terminal velocity, stop. Rinse the tension from your muscles. You are a tuning fork that has forgotten how to sound. Pacify your body. It is not a weapon of self-destruction, it is a declaration of independence. Your thoughts, fire starters. Your heart, a thanksgiving parade. And your words, when combined with the right lips, are a choir singing hallelujahs. Now close your eyes and pray. This is the rain prayer, the dust prayer, the cloud prayer, night prayer. A prayer to small gods and smaller victories. To the moon and stars and stained glass, a muffled, unfinished goodbye, which is the actual sound of a breaking heart. It is for those silent when they should not be, in defiance of the louder than they should be. But more than these, this is your prayer, written from the rejected lines of a suicide note by a scared little boy. 27 years old, who has spent so much time with his fingertips in his own blood he can't leave clean prints anymore. And he may look helpless, with the red sheet tied into a cape. He is sad because you are, scared because you are, and he wants you to know that tears don't always come from losing something. Bruises appear as much from making as from breaking. Not all blood loss is painful, and the moon is always there, whether you are looking for her or not. So when your skin traps you like fireflies in a bell jar, and you feel like something more than a halo of pretty lights but are too scared to break the glass because your parents told you too often that shattering realizations will cut you open and you're sure there's nothing good inside, it's easier to look at the world like you're staring through stained glass. So much of it that you're a cathedral. But stained glass isn't whole. It needs help keeping itself together, and you're falling apart. Too much time spent deciding you've let everyone down. It's no surprise you became a collector of echoes, an unintended connoisseur of last looks. But don't stare too hard, because that night sky, she can't take it. And you may hate the cold, the dark, the back of the mirror, but that ancient night is more scared of you than you are of her. See, she's been telling us for years the moon is hurting her. And every star that shines reminds her of what she gave up. But we just can't listen to Semaphore by starlight. And she can no longer move the oceans dripping red down your sleeves. And I know from experience, it takes a lifetime to admit that these scars are futile attempts to unstitch the security blanket, remove that one square with the Superman logo on it, the one made out of your expectations, and never be the one that lets go first. But there's really more offense to my defense than I want to admit. So if you can help me put down this shield, then I will give up my skin to smooth out where you have turned yours into a patchwork more like a dream catcher. You will miss your feathers at first, but the ones grown through me can carry you further if you let them. Take my heart. It will be dusty, not used properly in years, but it resonates to your glass song without knowing the words. And after all the mistranslations of what you said, there was still that itching in my skin, the unraveling of muscles to make strings for the grand piano you've always kept hidden in your chest. It's just out of tune. Too much water warped the strings as they passed through. And I can give you so much to fix it, but I'm not made of the right parts. And if you still think me an angel, then I will fold my wings to look like arms, because there's still too much rain on the glass. And you need someone to tune you. And I would carry the sound of your chest, but there are too many smudges in my throat. And all I can do is pray. Now open your eyes. There is a word for the smell of dust after rain, which means someone was there to smell it, which means no matter how heavy your personal monsoon, someone has been out in worse weather for longer, and they learned that rains will eventually end, and that there is in fact another side to all of this. And though you may feel like you're drowning in the oceans pouring on the earth and the glass and the zips you draw in ink on your scars to show that you wanted to see through them, you may feel like a church without holy water for baptism. But I promise that there will be a day when the flood drains away and the clouds that cover your eyes will be only a memory. And though you don't believe me right now, there is someone out here with just enough of the same type of embers in their heart to make art out of your charcoal. He's a scared little boy, with fingerprints he will be unable to clear from your cheeks, and he wrote you a prayer.